The following is a Brother Asks and Building Better Builders video education series production.
Well, welcome, brethren. Welcome to these sessions entitled A Brother Asks. These sessions are taken from a book by Brother John S Nagy entitled A Brother Asks, Volume 1, Uncommon Discourses about Hiram. Brother Nagy is an extremely well-respected life coach and Freemason hailing from Florida, and is in great demand to give talks and lectures across the United States. Quite obviously, these discourses focus on the third degree, and a deal of caution should be observed when distributing this information, although no secrets are given. The book is written in the form of a dialogue or chat between two brethren, where a brother asks questions and a more enlightened brother attempts to answer these questions by guiding the inquisitive brother step by step through the allegory. Now, the ritual being used, of course, is the standard American ritual, which differs from ours quite a bit, and an explanation of these differences is given where necessary through the several sessions. These should last no more than 15 minutes so as not to create confusion by giving too much information at once, or to lose the viewer's attention, of course. Now, I'm extremely grateful to Brother Nagy for his permission to use his book to pursue this project, and to Brother Gerard Brankin, Senior Warden of Lodge Albert Lochie 448, our Mother Lodge, and also the Senior Deacon of our research lodge here, Lodge Discovery, numbering 1789. I'm grateful to him for his inquisitiveness. Now, earlier, Brother Gerard Brankin texted me to say he had a question or two, some questions. So I'm hoping he's arriving here. Yeah, here he is. He's in the waiting room, so I shall admit him right now. There he goes. Hello, Jed.
Hello, Peter. How are you today?
Hi, not bad, not bad. Still sitting in the house, not going out doing anything, so be for a wee while yet.
For a while yet. Oh, well.
So you said you had some questions?
I do, aye. So, just a couple of things. So, do you have any suggestions to what I should be aware of while studying the third degree legend?
Yes, well, just like all allegory, it reflects two levels of communicated understanding to the candidates.
Two levels, eh? So what do you mean by that?
Well, there are two specific levels of communication going on at the same time during these allegorical plays.
What are these levels?
Well, the first is the raw level of the story. In this case, it is the actual story of the temple legend. And the second level reflects the concepts, ideas, and philosophies alluded to within the level one tale.
Okay. So why are these so important then?
Well, because when you confuse the two, you will take things out of context and come to some extremely erroneous conclusions.
So what are some of these erroneous conclusions that you have either heard or read?
Well, there's a few, but namely, 1, Hiram was resurrected. 2, the story was actual history. And 3, the 3 ruffians and the 3 grand masters represent actual people. Now, these are all wrong and completely unsupported conclusions.
But how do we know this?
Well, because close and careful scrutiny of them reveals each to be so.
Okay, is there something else then that needs to be understood, perhaps?
Well, yeah, there is actually a third level that is not often recognized, much less understood.
So what is that?
It's the candidate level.
The candidate level?
Yeah, these two levels are interwoven within a much bigger story. The candidate comes into this experience with a level of understanding that he's going through a ritual. The drama he experiences is a story within a story that is a ritual.
Okay, so he comes into the ritual experience believing he's going through a ritual, which is level 1.
Yes.
He is also experiencing ritual when he is put through the drama of level 2.
Agreed, yeah.
So then finally he comes to find that the drama is actually an allegory, that is how a whole different level of meaning beyond the actual ritual and story, which is indeed level 3.
Yes, that's right.
So what do members mean then when they say that the third degree drama is an allegory?
Well, that's because it is. But in truth, It's a morality, which is a subclass of allegorical play.
A morality? Upon which moral does it focus?
No, it's not a morality in the sense of a moral. It's a morality in the sense of a morality play.
So what is that?
Well, a morality is a type of allegorical drama with personified abstract qualities as the main characters that present lessons about good conduct and character.
Okay, abstract qualities then. Can you provide me some examples, please?
Well, yeah, I mean, abstract qualities like virtue, vice, good, evil, life, death, youth, age, wisdom, beauty, strength, charity, mercy, temperance, justice, truth, and a whole host of others. Each are portrayed by actors.
Okay, interesting. I'm not familiar with them. When were these moralities popular?
Well, they grew out of the mysteries during the 14th century and were popular in the 15th and early 16th centuries.
The mysterious? You mean like things that are or were mysterious?
No, not like that. But there are many members within the organization that will go to their deaths believing that.
Believing what?
That the mysteries are things that were hidden, esoteric, and mysterious.
So what should they understand?
That the mysteries within this context refer to the plays that were put on by medieval occupational guilds.
How did this word mysteries then come to define them?
Well, at that time, the word mystery had the same meaning as mastery, as in the occupation or livelihood of a man engaged in a profession.
Okay. How did they get associated then with these plays?
Well, the guilds of the time put on plays in the streets during special and specific times of the year. When they did, local citizens would be entertained and educated by them. The benefit to the guild would be the product and service placement, thus allowing them to market their professional offerings and wares.
So the guild members actually acted then?
Well, yes, in a quasi-professional way. Their plays were usually short, and their serious themes were often tempered by elements of farce.
Farce?
Yeah, well, dramatic plays that used highly improbable situations, stereotyped characters, extravagant exaggerations, and sometimes violent horseplay.
Okay. So wait a minute then. Some of these elements can actually be found in the third degree drama.
Oh, yeah. Can you provide examples of these?
Sure. The easiest one are the stereotypical characters.
Such as?
Well, the ruffians for one. But I would include the fellow crafts, the three grand masters, boat captains, and the wayfaring man. They're all stereotypical.
Yeah, well, I mean, the boat captains and the wayfaring man, they appear in American rituals, of course. But what else?
Well, there's the violent horseplay disguised as part of the plot.
What else?
There's also the improbable.
Improbable, what do you mean?
Yes, well, where were the guards?
Guards? What would you need guards for?
Hiram Abiff, he was an important man. He was a key component in the building of the temple. Why didn't King Solomon make sure that Hiram Abiff was well guarded?
Allegory?
Allegory?
Well, precisely. The challenge of allegory, even when it contains elements of farce, is that what you would assume to be part of a believable story is not necessarily reflected within the tale.
For instance?
Well, look, Hiram Abiff was an allegorical character representing something else, not someone. Hence, what you're actually picking up upon is that beauty was not protected. It's allegorical, and you are correct in your observation.
Thanks.
What else do you have?
There are some improbable situations and extravagant exaggerations.
Like?
Well, there are the indiscriminate tool use, the odd and deadly penalties, and the inability to provide a simple word to name three.
Any other clues?
Yes, realistically, the ruffians were hiding in the clefts of the rocks, could have ambushed the fellow crafts, seeking them quite easily. In reality, truth and justice shall take you just so far when dealing with the real life experienced ruffians.
So what are you saying then?
That there's more going on behind the scenes that is offered in the allegory that I first gleaned.
Meaning?
The play must be studied thoroughly to understand the nuances of all that is being conveyed.
It certainly should.
So that's why allegory is used within the ritual.
Yes, it's used because it is the primary method used throughout history to convey theological and philosophical principles and concepts. Such training is invaluable in laying a foundation for future studies of ancient and modern theological and philosophical literature.
Is this why we must train to understand it then?
Well, yeah, very much so. Training to understand allegories is the primary challenge faced by anyone making effort to decode conveyed things that are purposely masked, veiled, concealed, and/or hidden. This especially applies to things encoded in languages and symbols long forgotten. Keep in mind that its use has some interesting side benefits and annoying side effects.
Side benefits, what are they?
Well, using allegory provides extremely effective methods of cleverly masking, secretly veiling, or carefully concealing, and blatantly hiding valuable information in plain sight.
What is its annoying side effect then?
Well, unskilled and ignorant individuals usually make more of allegories than they were ever meant to convey and use them as excuses to do all sorts of insane things.
Such as?
Well, they use them to create cultures willing to expend inordinate amounts of time, energy, and other resources towards supporting societies with fictitious histories. They research and act as if their mythic historical accounts actually occurred. They create causes designed to rally their members towards further support.
Okay. What else?
Well, they use others to build expensive edifices designed to further support these fabrications, research efforts, and causes.
Have you any more to add to this?
Well, they support and encourage further creations of fictitious, historically veiled accounts of their imaginary exploits for posterity.
Okay, so what makes an allegory fun?
Did you not hear my last response?
Okay, let me ask it in a different way then. What makes allegory interesting?
That's slightly different. It invites curious minds to embrace contrasting and conflicting information and to dig deeper to cultivate insights into things, people's issues, and situations that require them to transcend what might appear contradictory at first.
So in many ways, it is a training ground where, by your participation, you're exposed to such thing in the hope that you shall use the experience and materials to stimulate further personal development.
Exactly, brother. That was a couple of good questions, Jed. So I'll leave you now to go away and contemplate what we've just talked about. And if you've got anything else to ask, just give me a wee text or buzz on the phone, and I'm sure we can try and answer some of your questions.
Thank you for that, Brother Taylor.
You're welcome.
You've been watching a Brother Asks and Building Better Builders video education series production.